Alright, well, we'll be talking about the paramili too, but the reason why I'm talking about it is the string. I was cutting this damn thing yesterday, and the paramili slipped out of my hands, fell on concrete, and it chipped out the blade ever so slightly. And this is the reason why I'm making the video. I've been carrying this knife as my primary EDC, secondary primary. It's always been on my person for the last year and a half. So that should tell you I consider it a good knife, generally speaking. I'm going to talk to you about this knife. I'm not going to really do a review. It's just me, my experience, what I think of it. My first ever knife review, so guys, just take it easy with the comments. Let's start with the good. What I like about it, I think it's quite an attractive beast. Good size, very easy operation. I believe it will work quite nicely for everybody, lefties and righties. I carry it in my left pocket, so this is how I activate it. Yeah, I carry it tip down. It's easy for me, it's faster. Some people prefer it the other way. With the Spyderco Para and possibly the Mili, I think this is the way to carry it. That's my preference. Alright, what did I think when I got it, and why I got this particular form factor? The knife it went up against was the Benchmade grip, full size black blade, also with a Spydey hole. And really I think it's a more attractive knife, but after holding it in shop I thought it actually wasn't really on par with this in terms of ergos and so on. I like the ergos on this, very nice. It's a very functional knife. Black blade makes for not concealability really, to be honest, but it's just, if you take it out in public, at least my experience, nobody even notices. I can just quickly make a cut like of the string and people wouldn't notice really. Yeah, what else? The liners are milled out, and the nice thing about them is they are mirror polished. Really, when I looked through this thing, first time I got it, I was very impressed because I could see the sky reflecting, and it was just beautiful. Really cool. Pocket clip, it's worn. Yeah, year and a half of carrying it. Some scuff marks here and there, but generally it's worn pretty good. The coating does take some damage, but generally it held pretty good. And first thing that I cut was a lemon, and it immediately marked it. The blade was immediately marked here, and for a long time actually I didn't cut lemons or anything like that with it. I just really babied this thing, to be honest. Right now it's a beater knife for me. Now, very smooth, but it's got this hard operation. When it closes, this, whatever you call it, part of a tang or whatever, it just hits you in the finger. If you hold it here and you smack it, it smacks you right there. So maybe it should be done differently, maybe not, I don't know. I have no idea what this achieves. Either way, I do, of course, the trial. Idiot. Anyways, I haven't been using the lanyard hole at all. It's nicely made. What I think of the knife, it's a good user, really it is. I got nothing to fault it. All the kids, because, well, older generation doesn't really like the look of it, but the younger generation loves it. They love the space age look, the lightness of it, and it's pretty light. They just dig it, really. It's just like, oh yeah, looks like a soldier knife. Is it really? I don't know. It's for me an EDC. This is not really a fighting blade. If pressed into the roll, of course it will do it. The jimping is really good. It actually has got bi-directional jimping, to be honest. Yeah, this jimping here slopes backwards. This one right here goes up, so it's like this. This one down here is just one direction, and they really lock your thumb in place. You know, you feel exactly where is what. Very natural position, holds beautifully, operates well. Good knife, lefties, righties. Trying not to smack the camera. Now, do I think it's the ultimate of anything? My answer, of course, is no. That's not even close. Do I like the S30V? No, I don't. I don't have a proper sharpening system. You know, if you spend so much on a knife, for me it's a lot. To splash out additional $50–60 on a Spyderco, for example, triangle system, it's a bit too much. And getting that S30V sharp, and even with the chipped edge, it just shades everything, right? It's really a pain, to be honest. You know, I prefer my Victorinox knives to this because they're so easy to sharpen. Really, I've been attracted to the whole idea of a Emerson blade purely for the ease of sharpening. S30V is just not high up on my list of favorites in this case. It's just not. I think if you're looking for a knife of this form factor, rather get the blue manix. You're gonna pay not $110 or more dollars, but about $70. You know, it's very cool. You see the whole mechanism. You've got a very cool, also stain-resistant bladers, as I know, be something, and easy to sharpen from what I understand. Holds a good edge for anybody like myself. I really don't need mega retention. I don't cut like, you know, tons of cardboard and boxes and stuff. It's just, you know, it gets a few uses every now and then. What I hate about this knife, well, like I mentioned, I think the blade stained on me when I was cutting lemons. It just immediately just got stained here. Really pissed me off, to be honest. Another thing which irritated me on this knife, difficulty of sharpening the blade. And yeah, many of you who have got nice sharpening systems will not mind and will love the blade, I'm sure. But for somebody who's starting out, this is not a good choice if you haven't got a good sharpening system and you don't have the money to really spend on that. What else? What I really hate about it, and this thing is a major point of irritation, is the screws. And if you look here, guess what? A screw is missing. Just fell out, lost it. It's holding on by this one here. That really pisses me off. There was Loctite on it and so on. It just went. This one's also a little bit loose. I'm worried it's gonna go at some stage. These screws are really short. They screw in like up to about there. That's it. You know, if I have a knife like this, which is supposed to be really, you know, I think it's not a major cost to have a male-female that screw into each other, and you're gonna have really a lot of kind of contact area. These screws are really short. There's not much to do with it. You know, you just twist it a little bit and it's loose, which really is irritating. Also, what's irritating is that this knife is not stain resistant. I mean, you know, chain is as strong as the weakest link, and this blade stop right here gets rust on it. Now, I don't baby my knives. I don't oil them every day. Sometimes I just leave it for a month, 2 months, and you know, I do all kinds of crap with it. And it got stained quite badly actually at one stage. I had to clean it, and it's still kind of messy looking. You know, it's irritating. Why? And what's more, you know, I don't know how stain resistant are the liners. Quite frankly, to be honest, if I'm getting a black blade, I think the liners should also be black, to be honest. You know, I like the polished look, but I didn't get this black in order for this to stain on me if I go somewhere like the coast or whatever. I would really like to have a full stain resistance as possible. You know, I'm paying a lot of money for it. $110 is a lot in my opinion for a knife. Yeah. What else is cool, bad about this knife? I've mentioned the screws, I've mentioned the staining blade, I've mentioned the chipping. Yeah, you know, I was being an idiot. I wasn't holding it correctly, I suppose. You know, I was trying to just make it quick and wasn't paying much attention, and this really kind of brings me to also the topic of the review, all my thoughts about the knife. You know, if I really considered this to be a precious little knife of mine, would I have dropped it? Probably not. And this tells you something too. I'll mention something that I heard Yankee Marshall talk about, and this is, you know, quite an interesting comparison. He talked about Glocks. You know, what does he think about Glocks? And you know, he apparently mentions them a lot, and you know, he's a bit sarcastic about them. So people ask him, so what do you think? What do you think about them? Blah 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 blah. Do you like them? Do you like them? You got them? Yeah. He says, yeah, I like them. I like them. You know, I make all these videos. They're good guns. But it's like this. If I went on a, let's say, a car forum, yeah, as I mentioned, a knife forum, and I asked, okay, listen guys, I want to go off-road, what car would you recommend? And somebody says, hey, buy a Honda Civic. Alright, well, I want a cool track day car, get a Honda Civic. I want a family car, get a Honda Civic. I want this or that type of car, get a Honda Civic. Well, that's the tendency, yeah, with people, especially with Glocks. Yeah, get a Glock for everything. If you really want you know, a car that excites you and so on, nothing wrong with the Civic. I think it's a damn good car, alright? And it will really perform many of the roles admirably. You know, if you really pimp it out, it's going to be fantastic. But in the basic form, it's pretty drab. Let's be honest. Very basic, very reliable car, and that's what for him the Glock is. It's a replaceable gun. He won't cry if he loses it. Well, guess what? This is kind of like that too. It's kind of like the Glock of the knife world. Also, you know, plastic black. I suppose if I got the full, you know, shiny satin blade, maybe I'd get more excited about it. But I got this black on purpose for, you know, just not being very conspicuous. And it just does this. It really is good at that. But it doesn't excite me. It never did. It's a non-exciting knife. It just isn't. My first knife that I got, this is kind of second, was a SOG Twitch 2, and that also is a bad first starter EDC. I thought this was a better starter EDC, but to be honest, I think much better would have been something like the Manix, especially blue. Or maybe something else altogether. Right now I got some really cool Kershaw offerings in the $40 range. But very good knife, really good knife, with some irritations. But like I said, I've been carrying it year and a half, non-stop. It did replace my previous EDC, which was carried for 2 or 3 years non-stop, the Twitch. It really does work, and the size is more what I was expecting from the Twitch. You know, I was buying it online, and it just, you know, when I got it, it was like, shit, this is small. This is more what I was expecting. And it's a good knife. I wouldn't really ever give it away. Yeah, you know, but is it really smooth? Yeah, no, it's not. If you want something smooth, try out the Manix. I tried it. It was beautiful. That cage bow lock presses, I think, on a tang or whatever, and just creates this hydraulic feel, which is amazing. It's like, oh, love that lock operation over there. This is fun. It's okay. It's sturdy for sure. It's really, I've got no hesitation on using this knife. But it doesn't excite me. It's just a knife. Gets a lot of usage. The screws really piss me off. But besides that, I can recommend it. But I think I would first recommend the blue Manix, which is about $70, not 110. And I think cooler looking. Yeah. I gotta say, the concealability factor was big for me. So the blue handle with a shiny blade, you know. Actually, I think it's more exciting. But again, concealable. You know, you want it to be concealable. well, guess what? You're not gonna have everything, right? Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Over and out.